You are now tuned into the sounds of Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime. You are now tuned in to Big Nate Sports Talk, the show that's on all the time, anytime. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for all content. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Nathan Snell. Bring your sports game with Big Nate Sports Talk.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters.
Could've, would've. Could've, would've, should've is the difference of what I'm talking about. The good teams don't come in and say could've. They get it done. All right? It's that simple. I'm tired of saying could've, should've, would've. That's why we ain't good enough yet. Because we're saying could've and they ain't. What's that? What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your host, Nathan Snell of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. I hope you're all well. Hope you're all staying safe. Hope you all had a great day. Thank God tomorrow's Friday. Hope the weekend is almost here. I hope you have something planned. Before we get into it, there's a few things like this up front. If you like the content which you're seeing, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, please share the podcast. You can find me on Google, Apple, and Spotify, Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. I also started writing for Maryland Sports Blog, where I cover the Maryland Lady Terrapins. And I'll be also covering the Washington Mystics this upcoming summer. So I'm happy for that opportunity. Previous videos you have not sent, please check those out if you haven't already. Please leave a like. That really helps the algorithm channel. It also too helps me as well, and I appreciate any feedback as well on the channel. In this video, we are, as you see, we are previewing the last game of the season, those Washington Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Washington Commanders are officially eliminated from the playoffs after that atrocious loss to the Cleveland Brownies. We're playing a Dallas team that can actually still win the AFC North, and they're fighting for first place. The Washington Commanders have a chance to play spoiler. Where do I begin? I think if you're Washington, the confidence level of Sam Howell is questionable. I don't know how much confidence Robert Vera and Scott Turner have given him. I mean, we're 7-8-1. We're reshuffling. We're giving it one last hurrah. Because Carson Wentz most likely will not be playing. Taylor Heineke will most likely be playing, but I mean, with after the Cleveland game, that was the last game you saw Carson Wentz in a Washington uniform. He will not be in Washington next year, and you thought there would have been a spark to have Carson out there. I mean, he missed. I mean, it's no disrespect with Carson. He missed 2 months with a fractured finger. Taylor Heineke, he did what he had to do. He held the fort down. It's painful. And if you heard, and Ron, I don't think subconsciously knows it, but I think he's kind of thrown Carson under the bus by not even starting him in this game. I mean, he didn't even commit to Carson or quarterback change following the loss, but to me, you kind of threw him under the bus by putting Sam Howell in there. Carson, as we talked about it, most likely will be gone. It's $26 million in the next 2 years. And Washington can use that money to fill needs, whether that's on the offensive line, DBs, linebackers, because we need a lot. So our season ends this Sunday. We're all getting ready to go to Cancun, the Dominican Republic, or any other warm climate for vacation and get ready for the off season. Dallas can win the NFC East with a win over us or a Philadelphia loss to the Giants. You can also add in there San Francisco if they lose to the Cardinals, which that will not happen. If Philadelphia wins, Dallas loses. Dallas will be the 5th seed, and they'll play Tampa Bay. And let's go ahead and guarantee that Tom Brady and the Buccaneers will defeat the Dallas Cowboys that wild card weekend. Guaranteed. So it's Dak Prescott versus Sam Howell. There's a couple things that I'm concerned about coming into this game. Is confidence. Confidence for me is key. You've got to give Sam Howell, you got to help him in any way that you can. I've been very vocal. He shouldn't be out there. The way this offense has been, it's been mildly inconsistent. I listened to a podcast, shout out to Will Kramer. I had Logan Paulson on it talking about how there are guys that are either they're not executing or they're not understanding Scott Turner's play calls. But some of it also, too, is on coaching. I think the key is you're going to have to establish a run game early if you're Washington. Brian Robinson Jr., we know he's the number one running back. He's almost close to 800 yards on the year. And Antonio Gibson didn't play, and you don't expect him to be playing. So Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, I really would like to see that offense have some type of creativity. That's the key. You got to establish a mix of run and pass. I think you've got to come all out and be ready to play. You have to. If anything, Washington's playing to be within the top 20. I think right now where they're at in the draft, I think they're like the 14th overall. And I think they can fall to like 18th. So depending on where Washington stands, I'd like to know if they're going to probably tank for that top 15 pick or they're going to stay within the top 20. But I look at our defense. I'll be honest, our defense was not the reason we lost to Cleveland. I mean, yes, they gave up 24 points, but let's also to give them a benefit of the doubt. When you have an offense that's not giving you a lot of help, when you're struggling, well, it's just convert on third down. You're you're pushing your quarterback to the point where you're not getting anything. Your defense can only do but so much. I mean, if you look at New York, the first time they held them to 20 points, and they held them just last week to Cleveland, 300 yards last week. They're fifth against the pass and they're 14th against the rush defense. Washington's averaging about 20 points. I think that it's going to have to be the offense. You're going to have to come out guns blazing, like Terry McLaurin's the number one wide receiver. Curtis Samuel, you're going to have to get them involved early, and it is a home game for us, so I'm expecting energy there. I know it's only going to be a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans there, but those are to me my key victory. It starts with our offense. What kind of creativity we're going to get from this offense? How do you recover from that kind of a loss? Because it shouldn't have been a loss on our offense. Even if you had put 14 points on the board, I'd have been okay with that. What are we getting from our running? I mean, it's really just Brian Robinson. What kind of creativity are we going to see? Are we going to see a Washington Commanders team that's just checked out and just saying, I'm ready for the offseason? Or is this a Washington Commanders team that's going to play spoiler? If you're Dallas, you're looking to seek first place. Dak Prescott, who I think has been balling the last 4 games, I think he's thrown up for 250 yards in passing. The only thing I think he's getting a knock to me is the interceptions. Yes, he's not been smart with some decision-making in the pocket. But also, too, that defense is not what I expected it to be. I feel like at times their offense is carrying the load. They haven't been quite effective. I mean, this is the same defense that allowed 40 points against Jacksonville and 34 against Philadelphia. They did hold Tennessee to 317 yards, but come on, ladies and gentlemen, it was the Tennessee Titans. Without Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, that you're not really getting much other than that. I mean, they're 9th against the pass and they're 22nd against. I mean, Tony Pollard is questionable to play. Ezekiel Elliott, he hasn't reached 100 yards in a game this season, which is interesting. Bring your hand on that stat. CeeDee Lamb is another for 3 straight games that clips over 100 yards. He's now over 1,000. So, I mean, this offense is capable of scoring. That's not the problem. I think it's going to come down to your defense. I think you've got to create turnovers early. I think you need to establish pressure. I think you need to take the run game away. If you're Dallas, make Washington throw the ball, beat you. But also, too, I just knowing Dallas and knowing how Washington, knowing this, I've seen the story. I just think Dallas is going to win the game because they have too much pride on the line. But knowing Dallas, sometimes they can get in their own heads. And knowing Washington, particularly moments like this, they come out with all this energy. So I think it's going to come down to making plays and executing. If Washington does that, I think they're going to win this game and play spoiler. And I'm going to say with my chest, I feel the Washington Commanders are going to surprise the Dallas Cowboys 27-24.
Guaranteed.
I think I just see a game like that, knowing this is a home game for us, knowing this is the last game of the year. The great Sonny jerseys being retired. I think the timing of the jersey ceremony is weird to me. And to have to know you got to play for some. This is about pride. About pride. And I'm really hoping that these guys go out there and know that you're also playing for your job next year. and that's key. So I'm confident. I think Watch bounce back after a loss like that, and but I see it happening early and kind of and just going off. But I think Dallas is playing for. They know what's at stake themselves. They know what they got to do. But I think Washington will play better. I do. And really quick, we're going to take a quick 30-second break before we get in the final message. I do have a video I want to show you guys. I'm going to play with the final message. So we'll be right back within these 30 seconds.
You are now tuned in to Big Nate.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to change into our last subject of the night, and that is
incoming message.
Thoughts are running through my mind. Someone took some time to find a minute or two to organize.
I wanted to continue the conversation I had in the previous episode. I found the video that I was talking about in regards to with Damar Hamlin. Shout out to Sean Spencer for bringing it up about how should the league ensure that Damar Hamlin's, he still has his money still secure. And I found the video. They're called the Ultimate Cleveland Show. And I listened, and it's the entirety of it is about 6 minutes. And Jay Crawford, who used to work for ESPN, shout out to Jay Crawford, one of many people I look up to and respect. There was a gentleman by the name of Mr. Bush, Garrett Bush. He also is the host. He also does some other stuff with Cleveland as well. Spoke some facts, and I thought it'd be nice to share. Just in time. I appreciate it, Sean. Thank you. I want to share that with you guys. And I think this is a conversation that we need to have. I would also like to say I understood what Mr. Bush was saying. Other players have spoken out, like Dominique Foxworth has spoken out about it, about wanting more for the players. Marcus Spears, Damian Woody, Ryan Clark. This hit everything what they were saying. Mr. Bush really hit the nail on the head. So I'm going to play the video. This will end this episode with this video. But before we play, I do want to say be tuned in for future episodes. Thank you for tuning in to the Big Nate Sports Talk podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe for all content. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good Friday. Let's get into this video.
I just don't believe the league was never considering continuing the game.
We in left field. We in left field. I'm kind of hot right now too. I'm kind of hot because we do this every freaking time something happen on this field, everybody want to pivot and act like I done heard people talking about, oh, just the mental health of the player. You can even die out here. We still talk about this stuff every single time. Schedule remakes, how we gonna make it up, what the league feels about it. I don't give a damn what the league feels about it. Let's keep it real. Why we don't talk about the stuff that matters? This young man, you want to know how what you need to know about him? He's 24 years old, right? He got a contract for $160,000. That's his bonus. And he earns $825,000 this year. You say, G. Bush, why are you talking about this man's money? Because guess what? He's been in the league 2 years. That means he's not vested. That means if he never plays another down in his life, he don't get another check for the NFL. Let's be clear about this. You got to play 3 to 4 years before you even sniff a pension. So all this heartwarming and prayers and condolences don't do nothing for that boy's mom that got to go home, look at her son, and he might need extensive care for the rest of his life. And you know what the NFL will tell you? Well, we'll look out for the people like him. No, you won't. No, you won't. Let's talk about the disability policy for the NFL, right? They moved it from $22,000 a month to $4,000 in the last collective bargaining agreement. Did you know that it has a private board that reviews all aspects with their doctors and with their neurologists and their specialists? They can deny benefits even if Social Security deems you to be permanently disabled. The league can come back and then say, the government is they're experts, but let's take it over so we don't pay anything out. Only 15% get approved by Social Security. The league says that number should be lower. Get that. 15% of the people who apply for disability in this country, I know, I was a disability expert. It's very low. I submitted over almost 250,000 applications in 1 year one time. I know. Since the CTE settlement, only 6.5% of the settlement has been paid, according to the admin's website. I looked it up yesterday. And 60% of the claims have a qualifying diagnosis but have not been paid. Let's talk about this. They're also moving the pension. And that pension, he got to make it to 55. He's 24. And they've moved that between $3,000. They moved it down to $3,000 when it was $5,600 a month. And the last stat that you should know about is the Bills owner Terry Pagula owns the Sabres as well as the Buffalo Bills, and his net worth is $6.7 billion. My question to you is, NFL, when do salaries become guaranteed? If you know these young men are going out there and they could die on that football field, I don't give a damn what your thoughts and prayers are. Do the right thing. I just heard Aditi say it 7 times. This is a savage sport. Men are dying every week, and you covered that up during CTE, and now you want to act like you the top of the food chain because you got the CPR people on the field on time? That's the least you should do. You're not gonna pay that man's you're not gonna pay that man's tuition for his kids. You're not gonna give him no disability money. You don't do nothing. All you do is collect them big checks, and we go play fantasy footballs, and I hear these dudes' thoughts and prayers for a whole damn 2 hours. Y'all don't care about them kids. These young black kids is putting on the line. And you telling them what they put on the line ain't worth it because you know why? Because you don't want to pay for somebody that's broken and battered and can't take care of themselves because it costs you money. So it is all about money. And I heard nobody talking about no contracts. And they sitting up here cashing these checks. We worship these owners. They do anything they want to. And as long as the product is good, we salute it. I'm pissed off today because ain't nobody talking about the real stuff. There's people out there, players saying they just want to wait for us to die. I like the NFL just like the rest of y'all, but I'll be damned if I'm going to sit up there and pat Roger Goodell on the back for running this organization the way he does. They run it like a criminal organization. Sick of it. I'm tired of that, man. I just had to get that off my chest because all this stuff, you ain't talked about what this boy going to go through. This kid could be damaged the rest of his life. And we talk about making up games. Care about making up no damn football games.
Bernie Kosar is the one that said that. You mentioned the player that said they're waiting for us to die. I thought about that conversation we had with Bernie on this very set about the league not properly taking care of these gladiators that have churned out billions of dollars for these owners.
Yeah.
And
part of that
Bernie
is honestly, part of it is a failure of the leadership of the players' union.
That historically has been a problem.
Do the right thing. It don't take you or you to twist my arm to do something I should be doing for my players regardless. Everything ain't a negotiation. You getting billions. You can die today. That's a sliver of these people just want basic health care. We talk about $4,000 a month, boo. They don't need no players association to do the right thing by their players. It's called do the right thing, period. You got it.
This might be right. Either you feel it or you don't. Might give it a try, yeah. Our bodies collide. Baby, you're everything I want. Let's give it some time, yeah. Somebody told me I should hit and run, but they don't know, they don't know, they don't know. Nobody knows but us how we roll, how we roll. Nobody knows what we got but us, but us. Let them keep talking, let them believe that they know, 'cause they don't, no they don't, no they don't.
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode and you want to see more content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bring your sports game on Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime.
Thank you. And you help me retain my sanity. Thank you. I want to thank you. And I want to thank you. All I want to do is say thank you for everything you